remember that big pot of collard greens we started with? Look, they're completely finished, and you can see they're wilted down, and probably enough for, like I said, 6 to 8 people. And in this pot right now are 2 large ham hocks of bay leaves. I'm getting ready to put 3 pretty good sized garlic cloves in there. I am also going to add a good little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Later, when I get further along with the greens, I'm going to need 2 more cloves of garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and do them now while it's out. Go ahead and get your onion, a whole onion, and peel it. And that big onion I told you about, and I'm going to take the outer skin off of it. We'll be using some later. Later in the recipe, when I use that garlic, I'll use more onion. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to divide it into quarters and throw it in our pot liquor. Adding it to the pot liquor. There we go. We're getting ready to add 2 carrots. They're pretty good size. All they've been done is just rinsed and the ends cut off. And we're going to put a little bit of crushed red pepper in the pot liquor. And usually I use this Better Than Bouillon chicken base exclusively, but you can also use beef base or whatever thing to flavor the water, or don't add anything at all, but I'm not going to waste my time without some base.
You know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that.
So I'm going to put this chicken base in it, which you can see there's just not a whole lot left. So, just so happens, I've got some Better Than Bouillon turkey base. So I'm going to add some of this turkey base. I'm going to add all this chicken and a heaping tablespoon of this Better Than Bouillon turkey, or 2 heaping tablespoons of just chicken if you have it. Okay. I'm also going to pour in about 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. We're going to bring that pot liquor up to a boil, cover it, reduce the heat, and let it simmer for hours. Now you can see the pot liquor is just about steaming. It's been on high heat. I'm going to add these carrots, and I'm going to add, like I said, about 3 tablespoons of this vinegar. And I'm going to put in it's amazing, but this, just a little bit of red pepper goes a long way. So you can see, I didn't put in quite a full package from the pizza place. And then all the base. This is what I call a heaping tablespoon. And now it's just about ready just to let it come to a boil. But I'm going to add a little bit of pepper and soy sauce. And the pepper, you can see, about like that. And the soy sauce, I'm gonna go once around here. And the soy sauce is really just for salt, and it adds that umami. And that's it for now. You can see that has come to a rolling boil. So we're gonna put the lid on it and turn it down to a simmer and let it go. I mean, I'm talking no less than 2 hours simmering. Right now, I have my helper, sous chef, Stephanie, slicing this onion, half of that big onion, into slices for when we finish off the collard greens later. We're just prepping. Okay, there she goes. She's putting those onion slices in the bowl for later. And now she's gonna get some of that garlic that I've already peeled and waiting. And she is also gonna pick out 2 or 3 big ones, 2 big ones, and slice those up. And she's gonna add those to the onion bowl, and we're gonna wait till we get ready to finish off the greens. This is a process, so everything you can do ahead of time sure helps in the long run. We're gonna cut up the collard greens, and then we are going to wash them after we cut them. Some people they say it's best to do collard greens like you put your hand here and you make a claw and you pull it. Well, just watch. So there, I pulled it. And you see how long that took? Whereas, the way I like to do it is, I take my leaf, because this part of the collard will never soften up, this main big vein. And even when it gets a little smaller up here, it still remains tough. So what you do, I'll cut off this since it's kind of yellowed, but you just come along here, along the vein, cut it up like that. And you throw the vein away, and then you cut across like this into big pieces. You want big pieces because this is all going to shrink down. So like, see? This isn't even really too big. Take a little bit of that brown off. It's probably not necessary, but there, that's what you do. And you go through the whole bunch like that. And I used to wash them first, but then I found it's a lot easier just to do them and then cut them and then clean them. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then Stephanie and I will do this, and then we'll go from there. Bring our cut collards into our massive kitchen sink. And see, don't get that towel all wet. We're gonna use it to move them. And we're gonna rinse these just like this. And if you get enough water in there, well, Stephanie. If you get enough water in there, the theory is that all the dirt or sand that come off the collards, and when you pull the stopper out, it will go out first. It will fall to the bottom and go out with the water and not be on the collard. The water's changed the temperature. It was summer, or almost summer here in Oklahoma, and the water's like just tepid coming out of here. It's funny how it feels cold coming out of the hose, but in here, you can almost take a shower in it. All right, that's it. We're gonna rinse and drain. We're getting ready to put these collard greens in this pot liquor, so I'm gonna take out these large ham hocks because they do take up quite a bit of room. And if some onion comes out, so be it. It doesn't really matter. And if you'll look, if our camera director, editor gets a good shot, you can see there's not that much liquid in here. And we've got a buttload of greens. So we're gonna put some in and get them to reduce a little bit, shrink, because they will shrink. And then we'll add more. All right, we'll put all this in here, as much as we can. Well, maybe more's gonna fit than I thought. It'd be nice.
Going or not?
Try to put it down in the back. Oh, yes.
More.
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 Rachel Ray would say, get that all in the whirlpool. Yeah, we're gonna get it all in the whirlpool.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. This is four bunches of collards, which I always try to figure a person eat a half a bunch. So we have enough for 8 people, maybe 9, 10 on that if it's small portions. All right, it's coming back up to a boil already, right? Looky there. So back up to a boil, and we're gonna cover it back and boil them. Probably I'll check them in about an hour and see how tender they are. Oh, and I'm gonna pick this the meat off of the bone, the meat part, and we'll save it to put in later when we finish off the collards. You'll see. Alrighty, that's it. Hi, we're back here, and I just wanted to show you. This is the meat that we picked off the ham hocks, and we threw the bone and the fat away. And now I'm going to take 2 strips of bacon, and I'm going to cut them into. Is this knife not any? I need to sharpen it or what? Anyhow, I'm cutting it into pieces like this, because when we go to finish off the collards with the saved onion and garlic and everything, we'll put it in the skillet and fry it. So this is just getting stuff ready to go. See, about that size. We're gonna finish off these collards finally. They've boiled about, how long would you say? 2.5 hours? And we've made a location change. So here we are in the McClure kitchen, 3809, and we're gonna cook off these collards. This is that bacon, remember we cut it up earlier? I'm putting it in this skillet, and I'm gonna fry it until it gets done, but not too crispy, just the right amount. Sous chef here, Stephanie wore out cutting up these onions and garlic. Remember the onions and garlic? So we're getting ready to add them to this bacon. And I'm gonna let Brian put just a shake of salt on there. And he's gonna, that's good. And he's gonna cook these up a little bit. See what a lovely job he's doing? Nothing like having an extra pair of hands in the kitchen. Now Brian is going to add the meat that we picked off the ham hock bones into that skillet with the onions and bacon. Then he's gonna take that little plastic container and dip it in the collards back there. Get some juice. Okay, because he's gonna wanna try to scrape off some of that bottom that's on the bottom of the pan before we get busy adding collards, and then you have all that to mess with in there. So if you need a little bit more, you can add more, Brian, if you want. Sooner or later it's gonna go. And just gonna see how he's scraping up the brown bits. That's where all the flavor is, just in case you haven't watched a million cooking shows. So I'll tell you that. Okay, now he's gonna go find his tongs. Like they have a well-supplied drawer there. That's nice about this day. Oh, there you go, there. And he's gonna try to pull out some collards. Now, when he gets a big carrot or something in there, we're gonna put it in this lid to where we can dispose of it shortly. Is that what you call a mess of greens? Carroty.
Shut up, you're fired.
No, you want to turn it up just a little bit, Brian, to where you can get it. Okay.
Looks like seaweed.
It does, like kelp, right? It's the kelp of the South. Okay, just for good measure, I'm gonna have a taste of these right now. Not that they're done or full flavored yet, but it'll give me a starting point. Oh, yummy. It's gonna need more salt, and we're gonna turn it, we're gonna put in a little bit more vinegar right now, and maybe 1 shake of red pepper or Tabasco. Okay, a little bit more of the apple cider vinegar. There he goes. A little bit more. Right there. And then some salt. And what do you think? You want a little bit of Tabasco or red pepper? Well, I say let's go with the red pepper. You can always add Tabasco on our serving on our plate. Sometimes if you have those green peppers in the bottle with the vinegar that they have in restaurants, you can put that on there too. What if we don't have red pepper? Yeah, like that, trapeze. Shall we try some of it? Yeah, let's do. All right, it's good to go. I'm gonna stir it back up and we're gonna put the lid on this skillet and let these simmer, because from the taste of them, they've got, I'd say, a decent hour or more. Well, and besides the new onions and garlic, we'll have to soften as well. He sauteed them a little bit, but they're definitely not done. And this pot liquor, we're gonna keep it because we're gonna turn this up a little to where when we put the lid on, it'll be boiling pretty good. We may have to add pot liquor throughout the cooking process. So from here on out, it's a lot of cooking and tasting. For now, been working all day to make this plate. Here we got the Brian's special pulled pork, some green beans from Michelle, and deviled eggs, and of course, this is what we worked all day on, the collard greens. Hopefully they're as good as they look.